So in this segment, we're going to be talking about Frost confident a Northern Ireland deal, whatever that means, is possible by Christmas. Now, just to caveat this, Frost has continuously pushed the deadlines back from October to November to December now. So evidently he's not going to use Article 16 in the way he keeps hinting at, because he keeps moving the deadline. Anyone who is confident and would want to push the nuclear option essentially would have done so by now. But evidently he knows he's not in the right, and if he did try and trigger Article 16 to do something radical, it would not end well for him or the UK. So, British Brexit Minister the Iceman said on Wednesday that the government's preference is to strike a deal to improve post-Brexit arrangements for Northern Ireland, and that the agreement can be reached by Christmas. Britain and the EU agreed last week to intensify efforts. There's still significant gaps. We've covered this. There has been no breakthrough as of yet. Accurate recording on the 25th. He said, "I think it can be done, Frost. Whether it will be done is another question," Frost told BBC Northern Ireland when asked if a deal could be reached by Christmas, as suggested by Irish Foreign Minister Simon Coveney. "We very much hope that we'll be able to bring these talks to a conclusion. That's what we would most like to do, but if we can't, then obviously the famous Article 16 is a very real option for us." Yet the Trade Minister and Michael Gove have kind of ruled this out until after Christmas, into January. So, again, Frost keeps talking big, but he's been disarmed essentially by other cabinet ministers. So it's very strange that he keeps talking like this, like he's going to do something when he's constrained by the Prime Minister. And evidently someone has told these other two ministers Article 16 won't be used in the short term at least. Britain left the EU last year, but has put off implementing some of the border checks between its province, Northern Ireland, and the rest of the UK, that the bloc says London is obliged to make under the divorce deal. The EU have been very generous in this regard. London says the checks are disproportionate, which isn't true. The checks for goods going to Northern Ireland are far less than the goods going from Britain to France, and are heightening tensions in Northern Ireland. That's you. It's the government that are doing that, and certain parties within the Northern Ireland Assembly. In Stormont, the EU's chief negotiator Šefčovič said on Monday he is absolutely convinced the sides can break the impasse. That's something we've covered. "I don't have his confidence. The EU have made some proposals at the moment. Without going into detail, I'm not sure they would solve the problems of checks and process for goods moving into Northern Ireland." So, assuming this is Frost speaking here. "But we keep talking, and we are seeing if we can move this forward in a way that does produce a consensus." Now, with the ECJ stuff, that's not going to happen. The EU aren't going to back out on that. They're not going to get rid of the ECJ. I've covered before, they might filter it through other courts and things, but I can't see that happening. It's just going to overcomplicate the issue. Brussels has said it needs London to reciprocate with its own concessions. These are things we covered before. The EU are essentially saying, look, it's time for you guys to concede now. It's time for you guys to give up some stuff so we can get an agreement together. Frost saying he's confident a thing can be done by Christmas. It depends. The UK can accept the EU's current proposals, which would cut customs checks by around between 50 and 80%, depending on which stories you read. There are things around medicines, so medicines from GB can get to NI with no problems, and the quote democratic deficit, which the EU want the Northern Ireland Assembly executive more involved in decisions that would impact Northern Ireland. However, they wouldn't necessarily get a vote or a veto or anything like that, so it's not the clearest what's going to happen with regards to the quote democratic deficit. But Frost is confident it can be done by Christmas, which is quite interesting, considering he's continuously moved the goal lines and the EU have set their stall out. So if we were going to get a deal or some sort of agreement, sort of a post-Northern Ireland Protocol agreement, we would have done so by now. So Frost is waiting on something. I'm not sure what, because I don't see the EU making more concessions than they have already done. So Frost's endgame is very unclear. But for the most part, he has pushed the deadlines back by months. So we'll see what happens closer to Christmas. Is he going to push back his Christmas deadline further? Is he going to use Article 16 or his interpretation of Article 16? We'll see closer to the time. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Support the channel on Patreon if you can. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one.